You either live long enough to give this question or you die after hearing it. What's your favorite anime? Now, if you're normal and well-adjusted, you're not going to say anything weird. No Heaven's Lost Property, no Shimonetta. So you're left with two options. Either something mainstream like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball... What? It's not 2004? You could say something mainstream like JJK, My Hero, or Demon Slayer, or you could cave into the fear of being judged for liking something everyone else likes, and say something obscure that barely anyone else talks about, like Gintama, Hero Man, or Corpse Princess. No one remembers Corpse Princess. But no matter what you tell each other, there's an idea of you that gets projected into the other person's mind. That's what you're trying to interact with when anyone asks this question. I've always wanted to do this. 19th century American philosopher Charles Horton Cooley. Sorry, I'm doing the whole YouTube video essay thing. Charles Horton Cooley introduced a concept called the looking glass self. In short, it's basically an analysis and description in which people devise their own self-image based off other people's perceptions. After all, you can't really have a personality without the reflection of other people's personalities. You need to know what exactly you aren't to know what you are, not just what you want to be. There's also a dialogue on what kind of person you are in different contexts, but we're not here for that right now. So when I ask someone what their favorite anime is, I'm not looking to argue about what's peak or what's mid. I'm looking for something in your mind. I'm looking to see what kind of characters and scenes ring true to you, what kind of themes you enjoy. I'm looking to see what kind of experiences you relate to. Because no matter how anxious you might be or what other social problems you've got, telling someone what means a lot to you exposes something about yourself. You can't lie about that. And even if you were to lie to me and tell me that your favorite anime is Rising of the Shield Hero, you would have to keep up that lie for as long as we stay in contact. Isn't that tiring? And so now you know a bit of the reason why I hate fandoms. Fandoms do this really annoying thing where just liking a piece of media attached to one removes all the individuality of your own interpretation, removes all the nuance of your own perspective, and forces you to be perceived as an archetype of a group of people you don't even know. Being a part of the group itself becomes your identity, and being outside the group is your isolation. And no one wants that, so you tell the same jokes, share the same memes, and gradually reinforce the idea, the concept that if you've interacted with me, you've interacted with the actual fandom. Everyone. There's no point in looking further, you've talked to the group now. And you know I'm right, because if I say Rick and Morty fan or Persona fan, there's an image in your mind that pops up of a person who shouldn't walk among us. It's one of the reasons why to this day, if someone asks me if I'm an anime fan, I say no. I say I'm a person who likes anime. There is a huge difference. I just like showering, man. I like going outside. I like making connections. And maybe I'm being a little dramatic here, but I think the idea of everything you are as a person being zeroed down to just a member of a group of people you will never meet in your life is a little humiliating. Nothing hurts my soul more than when someone says they don't like a piece of media because of the fandom. You mean to tell me you don't like a piece of media over niggas who aren't even in the credits? And it sucks, because I can understand where they're coming from. I used to be that kind of person. I didn't watch Demon Slayer for the first time until I think after the Swordsmith arc was being animated. And sure, I think it's mid, but I think that off my own experiences with the media itself. Not because Demon Slayer fan 67 said he ships Tanjiro with his sister. Human language has always understood context. Manipulate and convince are basically the same word. Justify and explain are also basically the same word, but we specifically invoke whichever best articulates our intentions. No one says they're manipulating their romantic partner when they convince them to go out to a movie, but you still got them to act in a way they otherwise wouldn't have. The same way no one is justifying horrible actions by a villain when they simply explain what brought them to this point by their understanding of their past or upbringing. I'm saying all this because I really do think there needs to be a bigger push to differentiate fandoms from communities. Communities build around a piece of media to support it. They create in an effort to celebrate whatever they're paying homage to, whether that's through in-depth analysis on characters or story arcs, like what Mr. Tomo does for Bleach, or what if scenarios like what Masako X does for Dragon Ball. Even just fan art. These are actions that create spaces for people to discuss and think deeper about pieces of media they all collectively love. Whereas fandoms, at least in my interpretation, are just, well, the casual consumer of that media. And hey, before you start typing calling me pretentious, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a casual consumer of any piece of art. Not everyone wants to type out an entire Bible's worth of text every time a piece of media they enjoy is brought up. You would hate getting a text from me, because you would just hear and go, wallahi, I gotta read a whole feature-length novel. But hey, let me know your thoughts. I didn't script any of this, I just kind of rambled, and it still came out pretty decent, I think. So, drop a comment, all that YouTube stuff. Be safe.